All right. Welcome back to the Retentionist podcast. I've got Derek Videll here from Social Bamboo. He's a meta ads expert. Derek, welcome to the show, man.
What's up, man? Happy to be here.
Awesome. Why don't you give everyone a quick intro on yourself and give a quick breakdown of your background, your experience, and then we'll jump into some of the topics we had.
Yeah, I've been doing online businesses of all different sorts for the last 8 years since the end of 2018. And but before that, I had my background in direct sales for the previous 7 or 8 years before that. So I like to say one of the things that's a little bit different about me is that I have a lot of in-person sales experience that I'm then bringing online. And online is a one-to-one communication platform for how it's consumed, even though it seems like we're advertising to the masses, it still is consumed by one person sitting there watching their phone. So I actually say that you should be doing copywriting for your emails and your ads and everything in a way that would sound like you are talking to one person standing in front of you. So kind of bridging that world has been beneficial to me. But yeah, right now my biggest claim to fame would be just running Facebook ads. I'm an agency and do consulting. So some people want me to teach them how to run their own ads. Some people want me to do it for them. But I've worked on over 700 different ad accounts at this point. So got quite a bit of experience in every industry. Every business is pretty unique, honestly. I because I mostly get leads from YouTube for whoever finds my video called "How to Set Up Facebook Ads." I get every type of business. So I've done a little bit of everything.
Awesome, awesome. And so obviously we have the holiday season kind of coming up now. I feel like that's a really great place to start since everyone listening to this will largely be either having already started preparing or preparing soon for the holiday season, their ad spend, everything else. I guess what are some of those best practices that you'd recommend for businesses to kind of follow right now heading into the holiday season with their ad spend?
Yeah, getting started with ads during the holiday season is a great idea, honestly. A lot of people think, oh, it's super expensive to run ads at that time. That is true that the CPMs are higher. The cost to show your ad to a thousand times is a little bit higher. However, why is it higher? Because everyone's advertising. Why is everyone advertising? Because everyone's buying. So you have this window that is open for gift sales, right? You have the potential of selling to the person you're showing the ad to, and then they're already thinking about gifts. So you kind of have a wider range of applicability of, selling your product. And then you also have believability from the customers that this actually is the best deal of the year. And for a lot of companies that I run ads for, we actually do Black Friday is the actual best deal that we run all year. It is the lowest percentage. And the world is trained to think this way. A Black Friday deal, a Cyber Monday deal, even if the company runs that at other points of the year, it doesn't hit the same. It's like, oh, they're running a Thanksgiving sale. Oh, a 4th of July sale. They're just like, whatever. Yeah, of course you are. I'm sure it's like a whatever deal. And the world is just trained super well to be like Black Friday. That is actually the best pricing that you can get. So the urgency is there and it's really real. Now, the cool thing about it is you don't have to also do as much copywriting that you would have to do throughout the year because there is so much urgency and everything. You really want to just let people know the main points about the product and then make a pretty offer focused ad. So you can do percentages off, you can get fancy with it and buy this, get this free, whatever. As far as deals go, usually doing a flat percentage off site wide is going to be it's going to work for everyone. And doing fancy deals apart from that, I think is a great idea. It's a pattern interrupt. If you can do this buy one get three free, or if you can come up with something like that, it's awesome. It's difficult to do. And yeah, so I just want to say if you're unsure what to do, a flat percentage off site wide is a good idea. Or you could do a flat percentage off select products, is the other way to do it. Now, apart from that, you're just going to run an ad. I would usually even do single image ads work the best. It is very rare that carousel ads do well in any industry nowadays. It only has ever worked well for apparel, I will say, when it's just like, oh, look at all these different t-shirts and whatever, like, and they need to like look at a ton of items before they're interested, like at the ad level. Carousels are probably only good for apparel at this point, but 99% of you should do a single image ad,
Mhm.
and you should display your top selling product, and you should make a deal that is going to be applicable to the most amount of people, which is why the flat percentage off is usually great. You can also display it in a way, if you have a product that people don't generally know the price of, it's probably a better idea to be like 150 crossed out to 99 or whatever it is, instead of say 25% off, 50% off. Percentages off only work when they kind of already know about what something costs so that it actually means something to them. But if you're like, get 25% off this brand new invention that we made, they're like, I don't even know. I don't have an idea even what the cost is right now. So, doing a cross out on the deal is a great way to do it. So that's a simple answer. I'll let you ask a question from there before I get.
I yeah, so there's kind of like two parts. There's like the consideration phase, and then there's the actual purchasing phase, right? And so I think you were talking about like more intent based demand capture ads there, right? But a lot of brands, they'll need multiple touch points with the customer typically before they're going to buy. How do you adjust for that with the different ads that you're running to kind of, I guess, for lack of a better word, like warm up the customer before you actually start running those Black Friday sales?
I actually don't take that approach to it, even though yes, that is true for getting the people who are further away from your ready to buy customer. I tell people run ads to ready to buy customers, and we're going to run a low budget, and we're going to get the lowest hanging fruit. And then once we have gotten the lowest hanging fruit, then we will try to go out from there. So to give a specific example, if I were selling ring lights, I have my people who are online shopping for a ring light right now. And guess what? Facebook knows who they are. They know who was just on Loom Cube's website looking at their lights and who was on Amazon looking at them. And they were on Facebook Marketplace typing in if anyone in the area selling ring lights. Those are like the ready to buy people. Those people, you can come in and be like, it's on sale now, and have a good chance. And if you really want to get ROASes over 5, like I have a company that we consistently get 6 or 7 ROAS in the supplement industry. And part of the reason why is there's that many ready to buy people in the industry. So it's kind of funny because I know as the marketer, it's like, oh yeah, we have to be the ones persuading people. We got to be out there like figuring out exactly the copywriting strategy. If you just make your marketing efforts around selling to ready to buy people and just showing up at that time and getting really good at always being there in front of someone who's already ready to buy, you're going to be like, wow, I'm an amazing marketer, versus, you're going to think like, man, I don't know what copywriting is going to work. And it's just kind of, the reality is the product is doing most of the work. I don't think anyone listening to the podcast today has bought something online recently where they got it in the mail and they're like maybe they regret it after they play with it and they're like, it's not as quality as I thought, but they're not like, why did I buy this? Like, I don't, I'm never going to use this. Like they bought it because of the product, right? You weren't like, oh my gosh, that copywriting just got in my head and just, I can't believe I bought. Why did I buy a yoga mat? I've never done yoga in my life. Like that copywriting was so good. You can't really do that level of persuasion, right? Now with the ring light people, then like the inner circle, that these ready to buy people, that's who I'm creating ads for first. The reason why also is because if those people don't exist, it's very hard to run profitable advertising at all. You have to have a pool of those people exist with what you're selling, that see your ad 1 to 3 times and buy, that
Mhm.
make your ads profitable enough to run to everyone else. You need that part of it going on to lock in a profitability. So if that part doesn't exist, it's actually really difficult to say, all right, we gotta convince people to become content creators first, and then we'll sell them a ring light, right? Which would be like a further out ring. But one level out would more be like a content creator that has a ring light, but we can be like, hey, your ring light's not as good as this one, right? And that they need a little bit more persuasion. So yeah, I will create marketing for those the levels out afterwards. I start at the innermost ring, and I don't go with this awareness phase, and then I'm going to move them over to the consideration phase, and then I'm going to move them over to the buy now phase, and after 4 months I will sell them my $50 thing. Okay, now I'm unprofitable because I had to wait this long, and I had to spend this much money and do this much advertising in order to convert them. Those people will naturally, that will happen from you running any kind of ads at all, is the cool thing. So yeah, I'm starting with ready to buy people, and that's also why Black Friday is so awesome, because that's the entire thing is based around that anyway. So I think it is the best place to start. But yeah, then you're going to start making different. I'm just going to expand the web of content is the real answer to what you're asking. I'm going to come out with testimonial based ads. I'm going to come out with benefits based ads. I'm going to come out with videos that explain the product in depth. And add more and more education and information at the ad level as I go on. And then if it works, it works, and I keep it on. Otherwise, it's all ROAS based. If it doesn't produce ROAS, then it's coming off.
Uh, Once that Black Friday season is over, which ends up being somewhere between, beginning of November now to mid-December, or even end of December at some levels. Once that holiday season's over, what are you typically recommending to your clients to do with their ad spend now that everyone's bought their gifts and everything?
Yeah, great question. So there is a little bit of cool down phase after sales periods. Even for like the biggest company that I run ads for, we run like a 2 or 3 week sale. The next week, our ads suck. There is a finite amount of people in the world. So there's a little bit of cool off phase, especially this global cool off phase after the holiday season. So the answer is you can keep running your ads and just kind of expect lower profitability. I don't think that's the answer people really want, though. So I like to do giveaways. Actually, I do New Year's giveaways. And this was my original claim to fame online. Actually, the first few years, all I taught was this giveaway strategy that I'm about to tell you, because it works extremely well, and I still do it today. But it's not like a normal giveaway where you're like this post and tag 2 friends. It's nothing like that. You run ads to the giveaway, and you have the first page be enter name and email. So you do a giveaway for the exact product that you sell, by the way. You don't do an Amazon gift card or anything like that. You do a giveaway for the exact product that you sell, because unless people are interested in your product, you don't want them on your email list. You don't want them following you. So you give away your product. The first step is name, email, and or phone number. Then on the next page, it says you've got one entry. In the meantime, if you'd like to gain additional entries, you can follow us on Instagram. You can like us on our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and smash the notification bell for an extra 2 entries. You can leave us a review if you've bought one of our products before for 3 entries. You can share this with a friend for an extra 5 entries for every friend that does enter. So I use a giveaway program called Kickoff Labs to do this. And it sets up the entire giveaway. It tracks people's entries. So I just got done running this for a company, and we got 3,400 people to enter the giveaway. And we find that about a third of them do every additional entry step that you give them.
Mm.
So she got another, we only ran this to past customers because she has like 40,000 customers. So we actually didn't run ads to it. We just ran it to her past customers. And it was a review based giveaway. So we have like multiple ways that they could like leave another review, because she has a ton of products. And we collected like 550 reviews in 2 weeks to add to her website. So the giveaway, what's great about it is the additional entry steps are whatever your business needs. I gave you a bunch of examples, but yeah, if you're trying to grow on Pinterest, that's what you do as the entry step. If you need more reviews, that's what it is. If you need survey data, you could be like, fill out our survey and gain a few extra entries. People only do what they're incentivized to do. And I found that a giveaway like this is the only cross-platform marketing strategy that really works.
Hmm.
There's a big drop off with any kind of cross-platform marketing. If I want to send an email to check out my new YouTube video, even though a lot of you probably did just come from an email, it still is like it's less than 1% conversion usually, right? Like less than 1% of your emails will go to Instagram or, oh, I'm going to post about my new YouTube video on my Instagram story. I'm still getting like less than 1% click through rate. Cross platform just always has a massive drop off. But when you do this, they're like, yeah, I'll leave Instagram for a second for a chance to win $500 to your store. Like they do it. They do all the things. And a giveaway, we don't have to, it's free for them to enter. They're trying to win free stuff. They're recovering from December. So now the rest of their feed is like, but hey, we're running New Year's deals as well. You know, it's like you just ran a Black Friday deal and now your next best marketing move is like a New Year's sale. You know, no, it's like, hey, we're gonna give you guys some stuff for free to show you our appreciation for keeping us in business this long and to say, you know, Happy New Year. We're so excited. Like it's a better vibe to follow up with that kind of marketing strategy.
When uh would you ever do giveaways or run ads or anything like that for clients that are looking to grow their like social media presence, so Instagram or Facebook pages or whatever it might be?
Yeah, I recommend this strategy at every phase. The one reason why I might tell a business to not run a giveaway would be to instead just run ads to sell your product because giveaways they do to do what I just told you properly does take a bit of setup.
Yeah.
You do want to create emails for once they opt in, emails for the sale. Like, you know, it I charge like $3,500 to someone to do everything for them, right? It's a fair amount of work. So, but yeah, who cares? Like, it's work. That's what we're in it for. But it is a lot easier to get ads out to just like, let's just sell the product and you're going to get immediate ROI. So that's probably the first thing you should do if that's going to work. But for launching a brand new product, it's a great idea to do. One time, I did this for a product that I was not sure if I wanted to come out with or not. It was like $10,000 to order all of the inventory. So I ran a giveaway for like get the first unit ever made for to test like an invention. And then I at the end said, "Oh yeah, I didn't even tell you the most important step." At the end of the giveaway, you say, "Hey, here's our winner. For everyone else who didn't win, you can have a consolation prize of 20% off site wide this week," right? So you give them a consolation prize in the form of a deal. But with my new invention, I did it for pre ordering that invention. And then I
Okay.
took that money. I sold like $4,000 from that. So I was like, all right, that's product proof enough. I took that 4,000, then I, you know, spent the rest to buy the 10,000 and come out with that product. But you can also do it for if you're like, I need a lot of Instagram followers. If I wanted to get someone to like 10,000 Instagram followers for sure, with only real people, I think this is the only way to possibly do it, short of going viral. And even if you go viral, you're going to get like 3 million views and 100 followers. So, um,
That's actually such a good point because my next question in that sequence would be, is it even really valuable anymore to optimize for driving followers to Instagram, considering like the algorithm nowadays, it doesn't matter if you're following someone or not. You're only going to get a couple percentage of organic reach unless your post is viral to begin with or something like that, right?
it's hard to rely on organic marketing as a primary means of, you know, getting sales, pretty much regardless of who you are. It's so hard to there's something about it. Like one of my clients has like 550,000 on TikTok, and she sells a bunch like every time she posts and every time she goes live. And I don't know what it is. People love her vibe. She
Yeah.
is an expert at her topic too. Like, but it still is like you don't want to even rely on organic marketing as your primary means of sales for the sake of just having time freedom and location freedom and everything too. If you want to be able to travel and still like sell stuff, then you need to get ads down. But yeah, organic marketing is still important. Just do it. Just exist online. It's a long-term play. So yeah, it's still very important, but it's hard to rely on like people are following a lot of people at this point. For you to
Yeah.
like fit in as like I'll follow another person, they're kind of like like when Instagram first came out, it's like, oh, who should I follow? Follow. It's a follower frenzy, right? Like I went viral on TikTok accidentally in 2020. I got 17,000 followers out of it. Like 2 million views turned into like 17,000 followers. Now that same thing would happen. It would turn into like 100 followers. So yeah, followers doesn't matter too much, right? It's a vanity metric at the end of the day. It still is, it's important for branding. It is what it is.
Uh, I guess before we end this episode, is there any last best practices that you think would be worth sharing with the audience when it comes to ad spend?
Yeah, because you're trying to advertise to ready to buy people, there's actually only so many of those people. So I do recommend starting at a lower budget because a lower ad budget makes Facebook pickier of who to show to. So you don't want to do 100 or 200. It's actually not a thing. I haven't heard this theorized too much in a while where they say, oh, yeah, Facebook doesn't like you if you only give them $25 a day. Just give them 200 because they'll like you and get you results. No, they want you to be profitable no matter what, because whatever you're spending, if it's not profitable, you're not going to spend more. Right. So they want you to make money. So if you give them, I wouldn't go lower than $20 a day for e-commerce. I do even like just $25 a day is what I love starting at. Even if it's just the first 3 days, just to see if I can at least get like an add to cart. And here's a really great rule for you guys, because everyone wants some like numbers for like when should I turn off an ad? Like when do I know it's not working? By 1,000 impressions, you should have one add to cart. By 1,500 impressions, you should have one initiate checkout. By 2,000 impressions, you should have a purchase. Is my simple rule for, there's always a little bit of leeway. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to give it a little bit more. I'm not going to hard cut it off, because I really like this ad. I want to let it run. But those are like general rules where it's pretty rare that if an ad doesn't meet all three of those criteria along the way, that it's going to work later. So it's a way you can turn it off earlier. But yeah, $25 a day. Don't go more than like $30 a day at the beginning. And also don't launch more than 6 ads to start. Launch between 4 and 6 ads between 20 and $30 a day is how you start your campaign. And then you should basically what's going to happen, you're going to turn off some of the ads that aren't doing as well, and you're going to make more ads in the direction of the ads that are working. So we're testing to find out what ads to come out with next, not necessarily turn them off. We did it. The best ads are on. You're always saying, how can I make my next best ad? It is simply how to improve your performance. But a lot of people don't think that way. They just are like, all right, all these turn off all the ads and leave the best ones on. Like you're always trying to beat your own ads.
Derek, thanks so much for doing this, man. I really appreciate it.